The laughter echoed across the ruined valley, sharp and metallic, as plasma fire stitched the horizon and an alien soldier pointed at the rusted rifle in my hands like it was a bad joke told too late. I remember thinking, absurdly, that he wasn't wrong. The weapon was ancient, even by human standards. Wood stock. Steel barrel. No targeting AI. No glowing coils. Just weight, oil and history. On a battlefield where alien armor bent light itself and weapons rewrote physics, I might as well have been holding a museum piece. But that laughter, confident dismissive, was the last sound he made for several seconds. And those seconds mattered. This war had started a year earlier, the day the sky fractured into impossible geometry, and the coalition descended on Earth with treaties already written and graves already measured. They called it an integration conflict, as if the word could soften orbital bombardment. Humanity, outmatched and divided, burned quickly. Cities fell. Governments vanished. Survivors learned new words for fear. I was one of the survivors. My name is Mara Cade, former engineer, former civilian, current problem. I wasn't supposed to be here, on the red-gray soil of Keros 9, fighting a war that wasn't ours anymore. But Earth had signed a surrender that came with conditions, and one of them was participation. Human auxiliaries. Disposable assets. But that was only the beginning. Keros 9 was a dead world, stripped by centuries of alien industry. The Coalition used it as a proving ground, a place to test doctrines and crush resistance. Today's exercise was simple. Wipe out a rebel enclave hiding beneath the valley. Simple if you believed Coalition intelligence. Simple if you weren't human. I was assigned to 3rd Phalanx under Commander Trelvas, a four-armed tactician with eyes like polished obsidian and a voice that never rose. He believed in efficiency. He did not believe in me. When he saw my weapon, he clicked his mandibles in open contempt. Seriously, he said, translator humming. Going into battle with that? The others laughed. Tall, armored shapes shifting with alien grace. I said nothing. I checked my rifle. Felt the familiar imperfections along the stock. My father had taught me to shoot with this gun, back when Earth still had quiet places. Back when laughter meant something else. None of them knew what it was. We advanced into the valley as orbital shadows slid across the ground. Coalition drones swept ahead. Confident. Too confident. I felt it then, the wrongness. A pressure behind my eyes. I slowed. Heart pounding. Trelvas, I said. Your drones aren't seeing. The explosion cut me off. The ground erupted. Energy mines, perfectly masked, tore through the front line. Alien bodies fell, armor screaming as it failed. The laughter died instantly, replaced by chaos. Rebel fire poured from hidden vents in the cliffs, kinetic and chemical, old tech and brutal. What I saw next changed everything. Coalition shields flickered under unexpected frequencies. Their systems hesitated, trying to categorize weapons that didn't fit known profiles. Rebels surged from tunnels, screaming in half a dozen species. This wasn't a rabble. This was an ambush designed by someone who understood Coalition doctrine intimately. We were being studied. Trelvas barked orders, trying to reform the phalanx. Plasma fire answered, brilliant and devastating, but rebels kept coming. That's when the alien soldier, the one who laughed, turned back toward me, fear now flickering in his multifaceted eyes. Human, he shouted. Do something. So I did. I raised my rifle and fired. The shot was deafening in the chaos, a sharp crack unlike the Coalition's humming weapons. The round punched through a rebel's chest, exactly where I aimed. No energy signature. No warning. Just sudden, final impact. The alien soldier stared. Again. I fired again. Each shot precise, unstoppable. The rifle didn't care about shields calibrated for plasma. It didn't announce itself to sensors. It was invisible until it was too late. Around us, aliens fell. Rebels too. Death didn't discriminate. But something shifted. Coalition soldiers began watching me instead of laughing. Following my movement. Trusting my instincts. But that was only the beginning. We pushed forward, adapting. I led a squad into the cliffside tunnels, heart hammering as ancient rock closed around us. The rebels fought desperately, but surprise had turned against them. Deeper inside we found something else. A command chamber. Human-built. I froze. Old Earth symbols were etched into the walls, scorched but unmistakable. The rebels weren't just resisting. They were coordinating. And humans had helped them. No, humans were leading them. A hollow map flickered to life, showing coalition movements with terrifying accuracy. Someone had cracked their encryption. Someone human. None of us were prepared for the truth. The leader appeared then, stepping from the shadows. A woman, older than me, eyes hard with purpose. She smiled sadly when she saw my rifle. Good, she said. They still remember. She told us everything. About Project Pale Horse. About the years before the invasion, when humans realized contact was inevitable and built weapons that couldn't be tracked, hacked or predicted. Weapons that required intuition instead of algorithms. Soul instead of code. The coalition had dismissed humanity as primitive because our best weapons looked obsolete. That was the point. The mid-story truth hit like a blade. Humanity hadn't lost. We had hidden. Trelvas listened in silence. When she finished, he did something no coalition commander had ever done. He lowered his weapons. The battle above raged on, but down there, a choice was made. Trelvas saw the flaw in the coalition's logic for the first time. Efficiency had blinded them. They optimized for known threats and forgot fear, desperation, and creativity. Humanity was all three. But that was only the beginning. The final assault came at dusk, orbital fire tearing the valley apart as Coalition Command tried to erase their mistake. Humans and rebels fought together, old rifles beside stolen plasma cannons. I stood at the ridge, firing until my shoulder screamed. The alien soldier who had laughed fought beside me now, silent and focused. At one point, he glanced at my weapon with something like reverence. The valley burned. The enclave fell, but not before transmitting everything. Project Pale Horse. Coalition weaknesses. Proof that humans were not obsolete. When it was over, Trelvas approached me. His armor was cracked. One eye dim. Your weapon, he said. It terrifies them. It should, I replied. Earth would burn again before this war ended. Many of us would die. But something fundamental had shifted. The coalition had learned that humans didn't need better technology to be dangerous. As the sun set over Karos 9, I cleaned my rifle and looked at the stars, wondering how many of them were laughing. The last thing I heard was Trelvas speaking softly, almost to himself. Next time, he said, we will ask what the human is holding before we laugh.